Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. We are learning sharing of merit. So if we look at Tirokota Soda, especially from Petas, so that shows how we Theravada interpret, right? So we do good deed, then we share the merit to our departed relatives. And if we look at some Soda from Soda Pitaka as well, right? Now I want to go with the question with the students. So this one is asked 2 months ago. This is the right time to answer the question. What is dedication or offerings? So from the Soda, especially from Nanda Mata Soda, so she dedicated her offering to the Sangha to the Deva King Vasavana, right? So what is dedication of merit mean? And she also asks, is dedication or offerings the same as transference of merits? So I think I will answer the first question. So as you all know that in Nanda Mata Soda, she was chanting Parayana Pali, a very profound teachings of the Buddha. She is a non-returner. So she was chanting Parayana at the night time, and at the time, the Deva King Vasavana, he went from north to south through the air, right? And he heard the chanting of Nanda Mata, and at the end of chanting, and he say sadhu sadhu sadhu. He appreciated, right? And Nanda Mata heard that she asked who, right? So the king Vasavana said he is the Deva King Vasavana, and he said, Nanda Mata, tomorrow the Sangha headed by Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana will come to her tomb. So to do good deed, to offer breakfast and lunch, and dedicate that good deed to him, right? So here, of course, according to commentaries, it means the sharing of the merit. So that we understand right now, nowadays. In Nanda Mata Soda, after offering food to the Sangha, and she said to Venerable Sariputta, Bhante, let whatever merit I have gained by this act of giving be dedicated to the happiness of the great Deva King Vasavana, right? Be dedicated to the happiness of great Deva King Vasavana. Sukhi Hotu in Pali. Sukhi Hotu. Normally we chant Idame Nyatina Hotu Sukhita Hotu Nyadayo. The same thing, right? The same thing. Normally we do good deed. We dedicate that good deed to our departed relatives. In our mind, may they be well and happy, right? may they get share of this good deed, right? So this is if we look at the Pali Canon as well, it is a type of sharing of the merit, right? By dedicating the Deva King Vasavan, right? So actually here I have, so she also asks, what is different between dedication or offerings and transference of merit, right? I think if we look at the word dedication, I think normally we do something dedicating our beloved person, right? Sometimes you may do something dedicating former Prime Minister, late Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, right? That can be dedicated, right? Dedication something. So in other words, we can say in memory of NKY, right? It's a late Prime Minister. If he was born as a Deva, and if he knows that all the citizens, all the Singaporeans, and dedicate, they are doing something, dedicating him, right? They are very happy. They are very happy. Even he cannot hear, even he cannot know, right? So actually, it's very meaningful things to do, right? So at least we will get something. So we will still remember him, right? So the young generation, they will take example of late Prime Minister, right? It's very meaningful. So I think it's the same way. It is the same way. So we do good deed. So here therefore I write sharing merit, dedication of merit, or transference of merit. What is different? This is my point of view, right? This is my point of view. So all these terms can be used. So if we really understand what we are doing, right? If we really understand what we are doing. So if we have a right understanding, if we have a right attitude, so we can use all these terms, right? First of all, so dedicating or dedication of merit. So we do good deed, dedicating to our mother, late mother, right? Dedicating to our late father. It's really meaningful. At least we are very happy that we have chance to do for our departed relatives, right? It's very meaningful. So as a Theravada Buddhist, I think as all the Buddhists, I would say that most of the traditional Buddhists, we believe that we do good deed dedicating to our departed one. So if you are doing good deed in memory of your mother, your father, or your son, some people are very compassionate. They dedicate all their good deeds for sentient beings, right? In the broader sense, right? Broader sense. So I think it's very meaningful. I think dedication of good deed, I think equivalent to in memory of, right? So we do good deed in memory of our mother, late mother, in memory of our late father. And we can also do good things while our beloved one is still alive, right? Stay alive. Sometimes I may do good deed in Singapore, dedicating to my father who is still alive in Myanmar, right? So and dedication can be used for both departed person and also the one who is still alive. So we do good deed, dedicating our departed relatives, and share these merit with those our beloved departed ones, right? Out of compassion and loving kindness. So when we do good things, dana, especially we do dana, right? When we do dana, then we do out of compassion, loving kindness to our departed relatives. Then share the merit with them, right? Share the merit with them. So here, share the merit according to Buddhist or Theravada Buddhist. Then we do good deed, we share that good deed, right? We share that good deed. So we are not sharing, or we are not offering physical food to the Petas, right? To the Petas. We believe that our good deeds will be transferred to our departed relatives. So I think here the word transfer is used figuratively or metaphorically. I think that is very important. So we cannot transfer our good deed directly to them, right? So actually using special email, right? Or what is the very DHN, right? We cannot transfer the merit using DHN, right? So what we can do is, so we dedicate our beloved one in our mind, and we share the merit. So we believe that those merit will be transferred to our departed relatives. So the story that I have shared last week, right? A daughter got the life of a daughter is transformed when her father shared the merit, right? So that is a kind of transferring of the merit, right? Transferring of the merit. I think here, so we must understand that for that reason, the commentary of the first Abhidhamma text said that sharing of the merit here means, so our merit is not exhausted. So keeping the simile of a candle. So we have a candle, and we want to light up other candles, thousands of candles, using the same light, right? The light in the first candle is not exhausted or not used up, right? So even though we share the light with the other thousands of candles, so previous light, the first candle or the light is not exhausted, still remain the same. So just like that, we do good deed, we get that good deed by ourselves, right? But we share that good deed to our departed relatives. So if they, so as I said that this is a used as a metaphorically, right? Metaphorically. So if the departed person rejoices, and his life or her life will be transformed into a better existence, right? Better existence. So that is the meaning of transference of the merit, right? So even though we transfer the merit, so the merit that we already accumulated is not used up or is not exhausted, right? Exhausted. It is multiplied, right? It multiplying. So that is, I think, if we understand the real message of the Buddhist teaching, I think all these terms can be used, right? Can be used. So the reason is that some scholars do not like the word transferring of the merit. So they say that it is go against the karma theory. Because if we do good deed, we get, this is our own, right? We cannot transfer that the result of karma to other people, right? So I think some scholars say that it is go against, especially the Astamika. And he said that it is a very serious distortion of Buddhist teachings. But at the end of his article, he said that even though the Buddha did not talk the transferring of the merit, it is not contradict with the teachings of the Buddha. So he said actually, anyway, even though he doesn't believe the transferring of the merit, but it is not contradict with the Buddha teachings of the Buddha. So that means we dedicate our good deed to our departed relatives, right? So that means we have a lot of compassion, a lot of dedication, a lot of loving kindness to them, right? Then if we do good deed, we are very happy. We ourselves are very happy, right? So that happiness is a good deed, the result of good deed. So we share that good deed with our departed relatives. So according to Theravada Buddhist teachings, if our departed relatives rejoice and appreciate with what we are doing, so that rejoice, that joy and happiness will transform their life. So that is the meaning, So therefore here, compassion, dedication, loving kindness is very important, right? Very important. So actually here I give a different story of the Devas, right? Some Devas, they died because of intense jealousy and intense avarice, looking at other Devas who have better than their life, and who have more powerful, who are more powerful and more glorious. So by looking at them, there will be a lot of jealousy in their mind. They hate them. They cannot stand with their with other counterparts. So for that reason, their anger, intense anger, banned their body. So in this way, they die, right? So it is mentioned in the Brahmajala Sutta, the first Sutta of Digha Nikaya, right? So if we look at that story, and we can look at the other way, right? If the Petas, our departed relatives, are very happy and a lot of appreciations, a lot of joys in their mind, and their body will be transformed, right? Transformed into a better existence, right? According to commentaries, so they will have a heavenly food and heavenly clothing and heavenly dwellings, etc., right? Okay, any question? So for me, I think that sharing the merit, right? I think it's a very beautiful one, sharing the merit. But if we use dedication or the merit, so I think it is very, how to say, it will be in line with not only teachings of the Buddha, but also a good conduct of a human being, right? Well, we do good deed, we do something good, some good things in memory of our late relatives, right? Okay, any question? Okay, let's go to another question. So this question was as one of the students. She said that I often participate in the Sangika Dana in our temple, and I have a few questions on it. Right? The first one is, when I offer food to the monks, is there a protocol that I have to offer to resident monks first, then other monks? I think we can call it a protocol, I think. And also a good culture, right? Good culture. And anywhere, right? Every country. So we respect senior people, right? So in Buddhism as well, even though Bhante Raja is older than other monks, but he is a junior according to Vasa, right? For that reason, so junior monks have to pay respect to the senior monks. So in the same way, if you offer food to the monks, so I think the best thing is to offer food to the most senior one first. If Bhanteji is having lunch in our temple, we have to offer Bhanteji first, right? He's not a resident monk here, but most senior one. So I think it's the best to offer Bhanteji first. But sometimes it may not be convenient to offer a senior monk first. So if you offer in order, it will be more convenient, right? So I think you don't need to go strictly, right? So anyway, in our temple, it is suggested that you offer food to the most senior one. and second one, and third one, and fourth one, right? That is the regarding with the dana, right? When the monks are chanting after food is being offered, what should I be thinking about in my mind? And very, very good question, I think, right? Very good question. You can think anything. You can think anything, right? It's up to you, right? As long as you are happy, I think it should be okay. Do I think about the past relatives I'm sharing merit with? I think it depends. It depends. Normally what we do here is we share the merit before we offer food to the monks, right? We share the merit at the shrine hall. And you can dedicate your departed relatives in your mind. So when you are transferring merit, right? When you are sharing merit at the shrine hall, right? So I think is another one. But sometimes after offering food to the monks, especially in Sankirtana, right? So all the monks finish their lunch and we offer other things and we transfer the merit, right? So the thing is only when you are transferring merit, right? Transferring merit. So you can dedicate your departed relatives, right, in your mind. Or can I in my mind say that I want to share the merit of this dana with my family and living relatives? I think it's also a very beautiful question. So as we have learned that we can dedicate our good deed to someone who is still alive. So if we look at Nanda Mata Sutta, so Nanda Mata dedicate to the Devakin Vasavana, right? So if we look at Mahabharinibbana Sutta, so we dedicate our good deed to the Devas, right, who are living around us. So that means we can share the merit to our family and living relatives as well, right? So for that reason, when we learn Kaladana Sutta, so in that Sutta, the Buddha said that someone do good deed and some people help them. So those people who help in the good deed, they also get the share of the merit. And also some people rejoice the good deed done by other people, right? They also have the share of the merit. So in this way, I think we can also share the merit, good deed to our family who is still alive, right? So I think it's very, we can also dedicate, right? Here I want to share what we chant while we are having lunch, well, after offering lunch to the monks, right? Normally we chant 2 verses, right? 2 verses. And some monks may chant some verses, more verses, right? More verses. Normally in Myanmar, we normally chant the monk chant and lay devotee repeat after the monks. Idame punya nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May this good deed may be because of this good deed may I attain nibbana, right? Nibbana, etc. So I think different traditions. But here in Mangala Vihara, we chant 2 verses. And then if you look at these 2 verses, I think you will know what we are doing, right? And then after offering food to the monks, we are not sharing the merit. So the monks are making wishes to the devotees, right? If you look at this one, the first one, Echitam Pattidāna Doshan Kepamewa Samechatu Sabbe Burendu Sankapa Chando Pattidāna. Actually, this is the real Pali from the Pali canon, but we chant here Pattidāna and a little bit. This one actually we follow what the late Bhante chant, right? It is not. It is a little here. It's wrong. Anyway, we just follow the way late Bhante chant, right? So the meaning is, may all your hopes and wishes succeed. May all your desire be fulfilled like the moon on the full moon day. It's very beautiful, right? So the monks are making wish to the donors, right? For those with donation. I think in this respect, so you have to concentrate why we are chanting, right? Thinking that the monks are making wish for you, right? You don't need to think about your relatives or your family. Just think about yourself, right? Another one is Ayuraroga Sampati, Saka Sampati Mevacha, Tho Nibbana Sampati, Iminate Samechatu. By this, may you achieve longevity, good health, a rebirth in the heavens, and the attainment of Nibbana as well, right? Simple one, simple one. So they are making wishes, right? So that means when you are offering food to the monks, you just concentrate what we are chanting, right? What we are chanting. So that means we are making wishes, all these wishes, right? Longevity, a good health, a good rebirth in the heaven, and at the end, Nibbana, right? And you can expect one of them, right? One of them, right? One of them. But if you want to attain Nibbana, you don't need the other things, right? The other things. Therefore, I think I don't know for you. For me, Nibbana is the most important one. So if we have Nibbana, you don't need anything. You are all the time happy. So Nibbana is very important. So as long as you understand the meaning of Nibbana, what is Nibbana, then if you expect the attainment of Nibbana, you don't need anything, right? You don't need anything. So these are the verses that we chant during the lunch time, and other temple may chant different verses, right? Different verses. But I think that mostly making wishes. But for Burmese, so we chant. We're trying to chant for the devotee. Because of this good deed, may they attain Nibbana, right? May they attain Nibbana. Sometimes in Pali, sometimes in Burmese, right? So actually, the language is not important. So the mind is very important. Mental state is very important, right? Okay. Then next question. Today a lot of questions. I didn't. So in this way, we are trying to clarify, right? The meaning of sharing of the merit. If the sharing of merit confined to only past relatives and all beings, can they be shared with the living relatives? So actually already answered, right? We can share the merit to living beings as well, right? So we are sharing the merit for the devas, especially all the sentient beings, right? Sentient beings. Can merit be shared to unborn fetus? An unborn baby who may have died before birth due to miscarriage, an abortion, or other reasons? Of course, yeah, we can share, right? In case that fetus, wherever he or she may be, right? We dedicate good deed, we share the merit. It is a good thing, right? It is a good thing. Here, the most important thing is, so you do good deed, dedicating your late departed relatives. So by that time, your mind must be very pure, not mixed with the sorrow and lamentations, etc. Right? Your mind must be very pure, no regret, no sorrow, no lamentation, right? So just concentrate what you are doing. Your state of mind must be pure, right? So then only, so you will have a pure compassion and pure loving kindness, right? So the sharing of the merit will be more effective, right? More effective. So you can share to the fetus as well, right? As well. But of course, if you are departed when was born in the Peta realms, right? So he might get the share of the merit, right? Share of the merit. So the most important is, so therefore some people argue that suppose your father is a Christian, you do good deed and you dedicate in Buddhist way, right? Do you think that your father will rejoice and happy? So I think that, so therefore, as a Buddhist, I think we should be broad-minded, right? Broad-minded. So if our parents is other religions, so they belong to other religions, so we should perform good things, right? In their own religions. But we also can do our own way, right? Our own way as well. So 2 years ago, one of the famous lawyers in Myanmar, he is a Muslim, and he was assassinated. So we do good deed in Buddhist way, and we share the merit, right? But we are not sure whether that lawyer will be happy or not. This is another thing, right? Another thing. If he is a Muslim, and we should do in their own way, right? So in this way, I think they'll be very happy, right? They'll be very happy. So at least, even though we are doing in Buddhist practice, Buddhist way, if we know that we are doing for him, he will be very happy, right? He will be very happy. So here, the most important thing is happiness and rejoice, right? Rejoice. So regarding with the rejoicing others' merit. So this is one of the practice we do in Buddhism, right? We do in Buddhism. So therefore, when we talk about 10 bases of meritorious deed, rejoicing others' merits is one of them, right? General dana. Dana is the first one. So under dana, we have another two, sharing of the merit. This is also under dana group. Another one is rejoicing others' merit, right? If we rejoicing other merit is categorized under dana group because it is related to dana, right? It's but according to commentary, right? According to commentary. But rejoicing other merit not only confined to dana, it should be if someone is doing good deed, wherever it is, right? If we rejoice, if we appreciate, if we are happy for that, that can be called rejoicing others' merit. So for that reason, it is not strict rule about whether it is under dana or under sila or under bhavana. For that reason, even commentary is a lot of argument. Even commentary, within the commentary, right? So there are a lot of arguments. But anyway, it is so one of the bases of doing dana, doing good deed, right? So one of the punya kriya virtue. If a person rejoices and appreciates the act of good deed, whether it is dana, sila or bhavana, then it will bring a transformation of life, especially for Peta. That's very important, right? If a Peta, a departed one, rejoice and happy, feel happy for our good deed, and he or their life will be tremendously changed, right? So therefore, rejoicing others' merit is very important. In other words, appreciating the good things done by other people is very important, right? So I think it is very simple method, right? Simple teaching. Sometimes, we cannot appreciate and we cannot rejoice. So when other people are doing good things, right? If other people are performing better than us, we cannot appreciate, we cannot congratulate, right? In that way, we accumulate a lot of unwholesome deed, just like jealousy, avarice, hatred, resentment, etc. Right? But if wherever or whoever do good things, it is important to rejoice, to appreciate, right? So that is a kind of good deed. So in this way, so we can accumulate a good mental state, right? A good mental state. Then the question as well, I think today a lot of questions. It is true that we must not hold funeral wake for a child. What do you think? So I think that I spoke to a funeral director, and that is what I was told. I think the funeral director is very compassionate, that he wants to save the money. As you all know that if we have a funeral or wake, we have to spend a lot of money, right? A lot of money in every society, I think that, right? Every society. So I think that according to Chinese custom, I think. Okay. Good to know.
Under Chinese culture, if a child die, right, normally they will not want to hold any funeral for the child. And also the senior, like old people, they are not supposed to attend. They say that you are adding burden to the kid.
I think it's very beautiful. Behind the scene, I mean, behind a very good intention.
Just like even like for adults, right? Even like let's say I pass away, then my parents are not supposed to attend my wake. Even they are not supposed to send me off. It's just like probably hold me back because of this. So this is the reason. Usually Chinese will do that. They will not hold any wake for the child. Even relatives will not come and attend.
So in this case, I think we don't need to follow strictly, right? So we have to understand why. So those on the practice or tradition were formulated, right? So I think that's very important. As she said that if we perform the funeral at the wake of the wake, right, for the child, especially the most important thing is spend a lot of money, right, and also it will add sorrow and lamentation for the family members, right? So I think very beautiful. But according to Buddhist perspective, it's quite clear that I think it's up to the individual, right? Some people may want to make expensive funeral, or right? Some people may want to do it, right? When I was living in Sri Lanka, I attended the funeral of a very young child, small baby. I think that they get married when they are very old. So the baby died, a lot of cries. So parents, especially the mother, crying a lot. And because of that reason, I think, right? That reason. So actually, as a Buddhist monk, we attended a lot of funeral and wake, and our mind is stable. But at that funeral, my mind was moved. I also, you know, is a lot of happiness or a lot of sympathy toward that, especially the mother, right? I think that she got married late, so for that reason the child didn't survive. So it's quite moved, right? Many people also cried because maybe because that. And that's it. Okay.
Sorry, can I ask a question not about just now that I got two questions to ask.
Okay. Okay.
One is you say rejoice in others when they are doing rejoice others' merits. Must you rejoice in front of the person? Like sometimes we watch certain show and then it's a true story or what, then you rejoice. Does it count? And then it's like our WhatsApp group, right? If somebody do something, everybody say sadhu sadhu, it's like you're going to burst the whole thing. So can you rejoice by not replying sadhu sadhu sadhu?
Not the language. The language, of course, the language is outcome of our feeling, right? So even though we do not write anything, but if we rejoice, but it can be present or behind. It doesn't matter as long as you rejoice. You appreciate, you feel happy. That is the most important thing, right? The most important things. So I think because of that, if somebody share the news of good deed, right? People say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. If they just type, I think it's meaningless. Normally, it's very easy to type. Sometimes, even to type the word sadhu, 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 not really easy, right? Not really easy. At least we must have we need effect, right? Some feeling here. The most important here is the happiness, right? We must be very happy and appreciate.
Sorry, next question.
Okay.
The one that is offering food to the Sangha members, is it rituals to hold the table and then all the devotees must tap each other? But sometimes if you are standing very far and then you just don't want to go in front and tap, but you do rejoice, does it count? I mean, not that you want the merits, but you just want to understand.
Actually, as long as you are happy, I think that will be okay. So the reason we offer touching the table is that, so actually I have to tell the one story behind. One of the monks at the time of the Buddha stay in the cemetery, and he doesn't want to receive food offered by the devotee. And his intention is very, very good. He don't want to give a burden to the devotees, right? So in ancient India, people offer food to their relatives coming to cemetery. He normally eat those food. As you all know that if they offer the food for their departed one, and nobody eat, right? For him, he eat those food. So later, a new word spread among the people. That man is very, how to say that? He's not thin, he's very, how to say, fat, right? He is fat because he is eating the human flesh. So because of that, that news was reported to the Buddha. From that time onward, the Buddha formulated a linear rules for the monks. So the monks need to be offered by the devotee, by the Kappiya, at least for the Kappiya, only after offering all the food, so the monks can eat it. Otherwise, we are not allowed to eat it, right? For that reason, and we hold the table, and some people they lift the table, right? So the best thing is lift the table, right? It's the best way. It is how to say, if we strictly follow the linear rules, lift the table, right? So because of that, so we are doing, right? We are doing. So offering food to the monks, whether you touch the table or you do not touch, the most important thing is you must be happy, right? for that. If your mind is, if you are happy to offer food to the monks, so that create good deed, right? It's not important to touch the body or other people. And then this touching the shoulder of other people is very beautiful. So this custom is very beautiful. It is only in Sri Lanka and Mangala Vihara. Not in Myanmar, not in Thailand, right? It's a very beautiful custom. So the behind, so we are doing good deed together, right? We are doing good deed in harmony. So we are sharing good deed together, right? A very beautiful custom. So that means the most important thing is our mental state, right? Our mental state.
But some people, they don't like you to touch the shoulder. That's the thing. Then it's not nice. Then you make people upset. You know, it's supposed to be something good. Then I ever encounter is like you touch the shoulder, but the person don't like it. So it's like you don't want to create that kind of unhappiness.
If so, do not touch.
I don't know who is happy, who is not.
I mean, just touch. How to say that? Softly and tenderly.
Yeah.
With the how to say, in the auto compassion or concentration, right? With the concentration. Some people may like if you touch,
just tap, right?
Yeah. Here, the most important thing is mental state, right? I think we have learned 52 mental state, right? 52 Cetasika, right? So therefore, according to Abhidhamma, I think mind is very important. Mind is forerunner, right? Here also, normally we pour the water, right? We pour the water. It is according to commentary. The commentary in the commentary of Vinaya Pitaka. As you all know that the Buddha went to Rajagaha and preached the first sermon to King Bimbisara, right? Then he became Sotapanna, and he requested the Buddha to stay in his seat in his country, and he donated bamboo monastery, right? Veluvana monastery, bamboo grove monastery, right? So according to commentary, when he offered that monastery, he poured the water, right? Dakinodaka, the water of donate. How to say that? Dakinodaka means the water of offering water, right? So he poured the water, right? Okay. Okay, question.
One thing, you mentioned that the lifting of the table or touching of the table during the Sankadana, is it mentioned in the Vinaya rules? Because if I know, I wrote the sutta, during Buddha's time, when they kneel, they sit on the floor, right, Chazi? All right, so do they touch the table before table, or just strictly a rituals only? But you mentioned only practice in Sri Lanka and this temple here.
Normally in the Sutta, you can read that the Buddha and his disciple, they go Pinapada, right? And they hold the bowl. So people come and offer the food, right? So that is offering. We don't need to lift the table, or we don't need to touch the table, right? But in the Vinaya rules, actually I have to confirm again, but I do not quite remember. So that one. So we have to lift the table. So the main thing is when we lift the table, so the devotee must stand a few distance away from the minds. Suppose if the devotee are staying away and lifting the table, we are not allowed to eat. So it must be a near a certain distance, means full. How to say that? Not full. What is it? Anvil, right?
Elbow.
Yeah. It must be 4 anvil away, right? arm's length, right? Arm's length away. If the devotee is standing farther than that distance, we are not allowed to eat, right? So I think the most important you have to make sure that you are offering to the monks, right? To the monks. And another thing is there is two exemptions. So we can drink water without offering. We can use two breath without offering, right? So other than that, we have the devotee have to offer to the monks.
Bhante, the lifting of table or the touching of table, most probably is just a ritual only, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the most important is we make sure that the devotee offer to the monks. Suppose the devotee just put it on the table. We do not know that food is offered to the monks, or just put on the table, right? So I think that lifting the table or touching the table, make sure that devotee offer food to the monks, right?
But then, in Manga Vihara, there are tables strictly meant for monks. Nobody else. Leave it there, it's meant for the monk.
No, sometimes they put the food for the student as well.
They do that?
Yeah, they do.
I do know that the table for the monk is very sacred. I mean, I observe that you don't allow people to use the table and as you wish. It's
I think it
for
is of course, if we have enough table, we can reserve that table for the monks. Sometimes we don't have enough table and enough space, right? So we can use it. So it is, of course, if you have some monasteries or some temple in Singapore, so they hire a flat, right? So they don't have enough place. So for them, so they have to let the monks' table use for the devotee as well, right? It is not straight room. You can use it. I think there is one question among the devotee. So they very often ask that when they cook curry or something, do they have to use how to say that a special bowl and special cup and special cooker for the monks? So I think that no need. So you can cook with the cup. You can use with the same cooker, and you can use the same pan, right? Same pan, and you can use the same utensils. The most important thing is you have to make sure hygiene, right? Hygiene. That's all I think. Other than that, not important. But here, of course, tradition is very strong that the monks' table is reserved, very strict, right?
Very strict.
So there are a lot of lines written. So these cups are only for the monks. Because our temple is very big, right? And we can afford to buy a lot of utensils, right? So therefore we kept the cup and all the utensils for the monks. I think it's good. Otherwise, there's no discipline at all. So therefore, our kitchen is one of the places where most of the complaints come from. Our kitchen, right? Have to make sure that so all the utensils have to kept in order in there, the same place, right? Very strict, very strict. Sometimes, if we are very rigid, right, it will create some problem as well. So we have to be sometimes very flexible, right? Very flexible. Okay, so I think let's go. Today we're trying to finish Dana, right? Here, the problem of interpretation. So as I earlier said that Zen scholars, they interpret that offering physical items to the Peta directly, right? It is in line with Buddhist teachings. So actually they normally quote some references. So here I have 4 references. The most important one is a few verses from Tirakota Bhedavatu. So when we read the verses or the Bhedavatu, if you do not read the last 2 verses, it will lead to one interpretation that so we are offering physical items to the Petas. If you read the verses from Bhedavatu, right? So our departed Petas are going and standing outside the house, right? Then outside the hall, walls, outside the junctions, right? And people are eating food, delicious food. They forget about their departed people, departed relatives, right? Some people who are compassionate and they offer those delicious food, right? So if we read those usages, and it will lead to one interpretation that we can offer food, physical food to the Peta, right? To the Peta. Particularly verse number 6, right? Ito denena yapinti Peta kalingatahe. So quoting this particular line from Bhedavatu, so some of the monks at the time of I think earlier than Asoka period, so they have they put forward a view that so of the family, the Sikh family, so they can offer food, physical food to the departed people, right? Departed family, especially then in India also. Not only India, I think almost every society, right? Especially the Buddhist. The Buddhists are very flexible and also understanding, not rigid, right? So even when my mother died, so the family they offer food. They put the food, especially when they have before my mother, how to say, was a berry. So actually I do not tell them whether it is right or wrong. This is their emotion, right? Their emotion. But of course, when I teach in later part, I can tell them, right? They understand. So when sometimes they bring flower and they put flower to my mother's tomb, some people say that it is not according with Buddhism. But I told them, no, it is not. Actually, it's not. We are not doing. We just in memory of, right? We remember our mother, so therefore we put the flower like this, right? Even putting flower, they say it's not in according with Buddhist teaching, right? So anyway, this is another thing we can tolerate. As a Buddhist, we can tolerate, and the Buddha also tolerate those actions, I think, right? So here, from Tirakota Bhedavatu, using this line, sustained by what is given from here. The Petas sustained by what is given from here. So looking at that particular line, paragraph, so they interpret that we can offer physical food, right, to the Peta. So according to Theravada tradition, it is wrong, right? It is wrong because it is clearly mentioned in Kattavatu. So Kattavatu is nothing but the point, how to say, what the Theravada believe, right? What the Theravada believe. The next one is from the paragraphs from Petas Sutta and Singalavada Sutta. So when talk about the fifth duty of each saint, right? A fifth duty of each saint. So those paragraphs, of course, rather ambiguous. It can be interpreted two ways, right? It can be interpreted two ways. According to Theravada, offering to virtuous religious leaders or offering to virtuous people. It doesn't mean to monks, virtuous people, right? And share the merit with the Peta. Another interpretation is offering a physical food and physical clothing to the Petas, right? And the Petas. So that, because of those lines, it will lead to misinterpretation, right? Misinterpreted. So that doesn't mean that, so the way they interpret is wrong, but it is not in accordance with Theravada Buddhism, right? So it can be interpreted in that way as well, when we look at that particular lines, right? When we look at just those lines. The next one, the Buddha's advice to lay follower to make 5 evaluations or 5 keeps. So that we have learned in Adiya Sutta, in Gauda Nikaya. The first one is keeps to relatives, right? So we should give something to our relatives. So as a Buddhist, so the Buddha said that after acquiring wealth and money in a righteous way, right? So you can do 5 things. So that is just the Buddha advice, right? It is not what the Buddha forced to do, right? It is not teachings of the Buddha, just the Buddha gave advice to them, right? It is up to them whether they want to follow or take it or they don't want to reject it, right? Then number 2, caste, right? Visitors. So if someone visit your place, so you oblige, you have a responsibility or duty to do, right? Duty to entertain, at least to entertain with the conversation, right? And number 3, departed relatives. Actually, Pali is Paupa Peta Pale. So if we look at Paupa Peta Pale means the people who already passed away, right? We have a responsibility to do for them. But if we look at that 5 ablations or 5 keeps, Pali Canon does not mention how to do, right? An ablation or kept to our departed relatives. So it is open to interpret, right? It's open to interpret. You can interpret in any way, right? Or offering physical food to them, according to Chinese, according to not only Chinese, in Indian, everyone I think, right? But I think other religions, they do not tolerate, right? They will not tolerate. They will not do such a one, right? Such a one. So anyway, so the Buddha is the Buddha understand, right? So as I have said last week, as long as his main teaching is concerned, the Buddha do not tolerate, right? Does not tolerate. So when someone say anatta as the atta, he will not tolerate, right? So in there is a very famous scholar from England. He is very, I want to say, clever in conversation, and the way he taught is very clear. But he said that the Buddha does not deny the ideal soul, the ideal atta, right? Atta. So if the Buddha stay around this time, he were trying to, how to say, rebut, right? He will not tolerate such a way, right? He will not tolerate. That's very important, right? So if you do not understand anatta, you cannot become sotapanna. You cannot attain nibbana, right? So actually, being sotapanna means understanding anatta fully, right? Anatta fully. Okay, so here is open to interpret, right? Departed relatives, you have a duty to do. You have to offer something for departed relative, right? So looking at that one, and some scholars interpret offering physical food, physical items is in line with Buddhist teaching, right? Then next one, the king, right? So you have duty to do for your king or for your government. Then the last one is for the deities, right? Deities. So according to Theravada, wherever we do good deed, we share the merit to the deity as well, right? Akasattha cha bhomata, deva, naga, mahedika. Deva, deva. Naga, dragon. Deva, naga, mahedika, who are powerful, right? And like this, so we share the merit, right, with them. So we are not offering physical food to them, right? So looking at that that particular usage, Popa Peta Pale, right? Departed relatives. So actually, the Buddha gives just advice, and the Buddha is how to say, the Buddha don't want to clash with the culture and tradition, right? So therefore, the Buddha gave, actually these, I think these may be, I want to say, the teachings in ancient India, right? So the Buddha just give advice to them. Of course, the commentary mentioned that, how to say, the evaluation to departed relative me and doing good deed and share the merit, right? Share the merit. And the next one, the last one is, not the last one. So next one is one of the 7 non-decline taught by the Buddha in Mahaparinibbana Sutta. So Mahaparinibbana Sutta open talking about 7 non-declines. So as long as the Wujian king, Wujians. So here Wujian means how to say, the people who are living in Wuji or the people living in Vesali. So as long as they follow 7 disciplines or 7 rules, so so they will survive. Because at that time, if we look at Mahaparinibbana Sutta, so King Ajatasattu, the king of Magadha, want to occupy Wuji kingdom, right? But Wujis are very united and they're very hardworking. So the Ajatasattu trying to wage war, but he was defeated. But he is thinking to occupy Wuji kingdom, right? So he sent his prime minister to the Buddha, asking, talking to the Buddha that he went to occupy Wuji kingdom because he went to get something from the Buddha, what the Buddha taught. And he have he believed that whatever the Buddha taught, there may be some, how to say, hidden meaning, right? Hidden meaning. Because of that, he sent Prime Minister to the Buddha. And the Buddha did not talk to Prime Minister and talk to the Venerable Ananda, right? Actually 7 disciplines or 7 rules, right? As long as OGM followed those rules, so they were flourish, they were not decline. So one of them is, the first one is as long as they are meeting regularly. As long as meeting regularly, there is a lot of meeting, right? Regular meeting. And second one is, as long as they can make conclusion or agreement in the meeting without any dispute. So as long as they finish their meeting in harmony, like this, right? The next one is as long as they pay respect to the elderly people and they listen to the elderly people, right? Then another one is respecting women. It's very important, right? Respecting women. As long as OGN respect the women. Like this, 7 disciplines, right? 7 disciplines. So this is one of them. Ananda, as long as the OGs honor, respect, esteem, venerate their traditional shrines. In Pali, Chaitya. Normally, we have a lot of chaityas, right? A lot of pagodas, a lot of stupas, right? So in Vesali, so there are a lot of stupas as well. They may not be the same as that we know chaitya, but so these chaityas or stupas are made for the devas, right? Made for the devas. So they believe that by offering food, by offering clothing and everything to the devas, and their country is protected, and they very prosperous, they be happy, like this, right? So believing that, and they pay respect, and they honor those traditional shrines. Both those within the city and those outside. Do not neglect the righteous oblation. Here, righteous, right? It's very important one. Like here, righteous me must be righteous way, right? If we offer to the traditional shrine hall by killing enemies, it's not a righteous way, right? So righteous oblation as given and done to them in the past, only growth is to be expected for them, not decline. So there are 7. So if you want to know, you can also go to Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 7, sutta number 22 as well. Actually, I do not like translation of Mr. Mori Walsh, so therefore I take from the Bhikkhu Bodhi translation. I think it's very important. Therefore, so there is a tremendous differences between translation of Bhikkhu Bodhi and other, I would say that not qualified translator. Actually, I'm not insulting them. So if we compare 2 translations, it's quite obvious, right? Quite obvious. So actually, this is mentioned in Mahaparinibbana Sutta. As you all know that Mahaparinibbana Sutta is a 16 Sutta of Digha Nikaya, right? Sutta number 16. So you can look at Digha Nikaya. Digha Nikaya is translated by Mori Walsh, right? Mori Walsh. So you can also refer to that his translation as well, right? So this is the same story and the same contents mentioned in Anguttara Nikaya as well. Usakhara. Usakhara is the Prime Minister of Magadha, a very powerful one. It's a very beautiful story, and the king expelled Prime Minister from his kingdom. Actually, they are pretending. They have a very big problem among the king and Prime Minister, and he exiled, right? Exiled the Prime Minister. So Prime Minister hopelessly went to Wuji Kingdom. So Wuji, they think that the Prime Minister came to their country for asylum, right? Then later, when the Wujian believed in him, he made a false belief, right? And he made a lot of problems among them. Then the king Ajatasattu easily captured the kingdom, easily. Actually, it is not the truth. It is a, how to say that, a story. They make the story, right? If you want to know, you can go and read Mahabharata Sutta, right? So here, actually, in Kotta Nikaya, the Buddha does not want to emphasize non-decline of a kingdom. He just wants to tell the decline of the sasana, right? So there are 7 factors. If the monks are following those 7 factors, sasana, the Buddhism will decline, right? So if you look at chapter 7, Sutta number 21, 22, from 24, 25, like I said, you can read how Buddhism can be declined, right? It's solely on the monks, right? Okay, so let's go. So this also, if we look at those references, right? And so some scholars using those references, so they interpret those paragraphs that we can offer physical food and physical clothing to the Petas, and the Peta can benefit directly, right? They can eat it, they can wear it, they can live in it, right? So that is the way they interpret. But according to Buddhism, we do good deed and we share the merit out of compassion, loving kindness. And the departed one see and hear the way we do, then they rejoice, they feel very happy, and they appreciate. So that joy and happiness and elation transform their life, right? So that is the way we believe, right? But here, then I want to talk my own view, right? My own view. That you can follow both interpretation. I think it is no harm, right? As long as you are making offering to your ancestors, as long as it does not entail, unwholesome mental state, just like killing animals, right? And also stealing. As long as it does not create unwholesome mental state, stay okay, right? And you can follow it. But we have to, it is important to emphasize that it must not, we don't need to spend so much amount of money for that, right? Right? The most important thing is to show our compassion and loving kindness to our departed relatives, right? So when I visit the wake, so most of the wake prepared beautifully with the flowers and colorful designs, right? I think it's very, very nice to do such one. They're very happy, right? Very happy. Now let's talk about suffering Petas. So as you all know that there are different type of Petas. So only the Petas who is living, who is waiting for our sharing of the merit, then they can get the share of the merit, right? So most of the Petas, they cannot get the share of the merit. So suffering Petas, they cannot hear, they cannot see, right? When we are sharing the merit. So therefore they cannot get it, right? They cannot get it. The story and nature of suffering Petas can be found in Lakkhaṇasaṃytta in Samdhanikāya. Samdhanikāya chapter 90, Sutta number 1 to 21. So that means total 21 story of Petas, right? 21 type of Petas. So they are also mentioned in Vinaya Pitaka as well. Vinaya Pitaka as well. So that means the same stories can be found in two places in Tipitaka, right? Tipitaka. So all the 21 suttas from Lakkhaṇasaṃyutta described in the same manner as mentioned below. Why coming down from Mount Kechakuda to go for Ampenapada, Venerable Moggallana display his mind when he arrived at a certain place. So Venerable Moggallana is living in Kechakuda, in the cave, right? In the cave, together with another monk called Lakkhaṇa. So therefore, the name of the suttas that are connected with the Venerable Lakkhaṇa is called Lakkhaṇasaṃyutta, right? Some of the discourses are connected with Venerable Sariputta, so they are called Sariputta Saṃyutta, right? So all these 21 stories of Peta are related to Venerable Lakkhaṇa. So therefore, it is called Lakkhaṇasaṃyutta, right? So I think this is the time when the Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana they join the Sangha order. So after 7 days after ordination, Venerable Moggallana, he became Arahant. And after 2 weeks after his ordination, Venerable Sariputta became Arahant, right? So this may be, those stories may be around that time, right? So coming down from Kechakuda to go for Penapada, Venerable Moggallana display his mind. That doesn't mean that he is so happy. There must be, if Arahant or the Buddha's mind, there is a reason, right? For that reason, Venerable Lakkhaṇa asks, why display his mind? And Venerable Moggallana said that it is not a right time to explain why I smile. Because we are going for Penapada, right? So you ask the question in front of the Buddha, then only I will answer, right? So here, regarding with the smile Lord Arahant, Bhante Kishidhamananda explained in his Dhammapara, translation of Dhammapara. This is his explanation. When Arahants and the Buddha smile, it is not an expression of humor, because they are not, actually it's not 100%, right? So if we learn Abhidhamma, so there are different types of smiling, right? Maybe Arahant, when they are happy, they will smile, right? But this is a particular, this type of smile, it's not because of, how to say, joy or happiness, right? As you all know that Venerable Moggallana see Petas who are suffering, right? Rather, it is a sign to whoever is with them to question them on what prompted the smile. Now the Venerable Moggallana is going with the Venerable Lakkhaṇa, right? So he displays his mind. So Venerable Lakkhaṇa think that there must be a one reason, right? And he asked, the Venerable Sariputta Moggallana said that it's not the right time. Ask me when in front of the Buddha, right? In front of the Buddha. So in Abhidhamma, it is called Hasitopada, right? Smile producing consciousness. We call it, right? Smile producing consciousness. So when we learn Abhidhamma, smile producing consciousness associated with the joy, right? With the joy. It's not a real joy. Sometimes the Arahant and the Buddha may smile with other reasons as well, right? Other reasons as well. So we are talking about smile producing consciousness, right? Smile producing consciousness. So there are many stories in Sri Lanka, in Thailand, in Myanmar. So according to legends, I would say that the legends, so the Buddha visited Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, many places. The Buddha displayed his mind. And Venerable Ananda asked, why the Buddha smiled? And the Buddha said that there must be a very big and prosperous city, kingdom in this area. Like this, there are a lot of prediction, right? In our country, in Sri Lanka as well. Because we want to relate with the Buddha. There are many stories. And the Buddha displays his mind. And Venerable Ananda asked, the pattern is the same, right? So there are many places the Buddha visited. Then I always tell them that if the Buddha pay a visit, many places like this, no time to teach. No time to teach the Dhamma. So they are just legends, right? Just legends. So here, when they come back from the Vinapada, Venerable Lakkhaṇasaṃytta asked Venerable Moggallana why he smiled. And Venerable Moggallana said that why we are going down from Gichakuda mountain, and he saw a skeleton Peta moving through the air. Normal people cannot see, right? Cannot see. But Venerable Moggallana, he became Arahant. Also, he attained psychic power, supernatural power, right? So therefore, he saw those Peta, a skeleton Peta, moving through the air. So this is the first soda. Vachas, crows, and hawks. So this is not a real bird. So they are also Petas as well. So they are very big vachas, very big crows and hawks, following it in hot pursuit. We are pecking at it, and between the ribs, stabbing it and tearing it apart. Why? It utters cries of pain. So if you want to know detail, you can read the soda that I have shared. I have already sent to you, right? Lakkhaṇasaṃytta, 21 story, right? 21 story. It's a type of Peta, skeleton Peta, right? So the Vacha, crows, and hawks are tearing that Peta apart, right? And he utters cries of pain. And the Buddha said that as soon as I attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, I saw them. But I didn't tell anyone. But if I tell anyone, people may not believe me because they cannot see, right? Therefore, I didn't talk about them. But right now, and as I have a Venerable Moggallana as a witness, and now I tell them there is a Peta, right? Is a Peta. Previously, that Peta was used to be a Cakkapala. So as you all know, that Cakkapala, they're trying to peel the flesh, right? Until the bone remain, right? So when he died, he saw the bone of a skeleton of Cakkapala. As the last moment, the object of the last moment of the Peta is the skeletons of Cakkapala, right? Then he go to hell. When exhausted, a very heavy karma exhausted in the hell, then he come out and he became Petas near the Cakkapala mountain, right? Cakkapala mountain. When you visit India, then you can experience, right? Those Petas stay exist there, stay living there. So if you have a supernatural power, you can see them, right? So their lifespan is very long, right? So they are suffering Petas. So even though you share merit, they cannot hear, they cannot see. Because there are a lot of suffering, right? A lot of sufferings. Sometimes even we feel we are sick, right? It's severe headache. And people may talk about good things about you, but you cannot. You may hear, but you cannot appreciate, right? Because very severe headache. The next one is a man Peta with the body hairs or needles moving through the air. The needle entered his head and came out from his mouth. The needle entered into his mouth and came out from the chest, like this, right? From the chest to belly, from belly to thigh, from thigh to calves, and they entered from calf and came out from his feet. And he uttered cries of pain. And Peta, very big one, very big man, right? Previously, is slanderer. If you slander, you might become like him, right? Like him, like this. So they are suffering Petas. Then another is a piece of meat. A piece of meat. There is no body, just a piece of meat. No eye, no mouth, just a piece of meat. He used to be a Cakkapala as well. So he trying to cut the cattle and make into the pieces, right? Make how to say the meat, right? He packed the meat. So before he died, at the last moment, and he remembered a piece of meat. Taking that object, then he go to hell, and when he come out, it became a piece of meat. It is a type of being, right? It's Peta. The same thing, the vulture and crow, they are following in hot pursuit, and they trying to stab it and tear it apart, right? That's a type of Peta. So when you see discoveries, you will see especially on the ocean, right? Just like a piece of meat moving, right? It's a type of animals, a type of sentient beings, right? Sentient beings. A man submerged in a pit or dam, eating them with the both hands, right? Previous life, that being was a tetra, right? A headless trunk, Peta, there's no head, moving through the air, right? The same thing. Eyes, mouth were on his chest. Vulture, crows, hawks following it in hot pursuit and crying, pain, right? An executor, right? Executor. Next one is interesting. A bhikkhu, a monk moving through the air, right? Moving through the air. His outer robe things, right? His bow, waistband, and body were burning, blazing, and flaming while he uttered cries of pain. Man's Peta, right? The man's Peta. And he was an evil bhikkhu in the Buddha's Kassapa dispensation. So at the time of Kassapa Buddha, he break the Vinaya rules, evil bhikkhus, right? So because of that good bad deed, go to hell, then come out from the hell, became Peta near the Kijakuta mountain, right? And another one is a bhikkhuni, in nuns, right? So therefore in Buddhism there's no difference between the man and the monks. So when we learn Palapanita Sutta from Majjhima Nikaya, and the Buddha said that the one who is doing wrong things, bad things, with their body, speech and mind, a foolish one. Whoever, man or woman or monk, it doesn't matter. As long as we are doing bad things with our body, speech and mind, a foolish one, right? And someone who is doing good things with their body, with their speech, and with their mind, they are a wise person. Regardless of anyone, regardless of women or men, as long as you are doing good things with your body, speech, and mind, right? A wise one. So therefore, when we interpret Mangala Sutta, do not associate with the foolish one. That means whoever, even to your parents, if even the monk, right? If he or she is doing unwholesome things, right? With his body, with his speech and mind, that is the foolish one. Do not associate with them. If someone is doing good deed with the body, speech and mind, a very with the heart of gold, right? A heart of gold, then you can associate with them. Whoever, right? Whoever. As long as that person is good at in character and is using a good speech, a beautiful mind, and doing good things with his body, then associate with such one. Such one is called wise person, right? So here, if we learn Lakkhaṇasaṃytta, we can learn even the monk and nun, right? If they are doing unwholesome things, so they have to go to hell, right? They have to go to hell. No exemption. Theory of karma is very strict, right? Karma, sati, vipajjati. The karma, how to say, the karma separate the role of people. Karma separate the role of people. If you are good, and you will have a better place, right? If you are bad, you will have a bad place, right? That is the theory of karma. Any question? Okay, today this is the last day of the topic Dana. Next week, I will summarize the essence of Dana, right? What is Dana? Now we have learned a lot, right? You may not know what is Dana. So therefore, I need to summarize. Otherwise, a lot of information, right? A lot of information. You will not get the point. So therefore, next week I will summarize what is Dana, right? So then only you will understand the topic about Dana, right? Okay. Let's close our lessons. Yo vada dampa varo manu jesu sakya muni bhagava gata kecho paragato bala vidiya samangi tan sukatan saranata mupemi rakavi rakamani chamasokan Dhamma masangata mapatikulan marurami nampaguna suvipatan Dhamma mimansara natamupemi yatacha de nama Apalamahu Chatusu Sisu Purisa Yogesu Atacha Bogala Dhammadasate Sangami Mansara Natamupemi. Good night, everyone.